Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Hi Tea Honey.
Hi, Tea Honey.
Oh, man. Wow. We're here again.
Here we are. Shantaé.
Nikka.
Hey, boo.
Hey, girl.
How you doing?
I am good. I had me a little nap earlier. I feel revitalized.
That's lovely.
You know how important my naps are to me.
Yes, I do. And I know how you are if you miss one.
Ooh.
Or a few.
Unstable.
So I'm happy that you were able to take a nap and feel revitalized.
Yes, I feel
rejuvenated.
Recharged.
Those are nice words.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I feel good. I feel a bit tired today. My energy is definitely lower than it has been. But I mean, I'm alright with it. I'm cool. I'm here.
Okay, I'm here. I'm happy that you're here with me, babe.
I'm happy to be here with you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I cherish all of our time together.
Hey, stop it.
Okay, let's not get too off topic.
Oh, man. So on our last episode, we did discuss moving from forced to ease, and we had a lot of great questions that we answered, and then we left a few good old little tips for y'all. So if y'all haven't had the opportunity to listen to that episode or watch that episode, please go back and follow up with that and get your little nuggets and get our perspective on what it's like moving from force to ease.
Yeah. It's a good episode.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Yes, do that. It is Mother's Day today. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Wow. Mother's Day.
I have a lot of thoughts about Mother's Day, but, I'm sure we'll get into some of that in a few moments.
But we first want to say Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. If you are a mother at any type of capacity, Happy Mother's Day to you, Mama.
Yes.
Moms are very much needed in this world.
Yes.
They're the real foundation.
Yeah. It's the mother is the beginning, so.
You heard that. The beginning.
Mad respect to motherhood as a whole.
Yes. So, all right, y'all. So you know what it's time for. To segue into our favorite corner of our show. It's called The Sip.
The Sip.
Sip, sip, sipping.
What are you sipping on, my dear Nikka?
Well, today I am sipping on water.
Okay, water is life.
Okay. Some good old distilled water today because we ran out of spring water.
Yeah, I'm drinking the same, some distilled water. Not really built for the tap. No offense to anyone who is. It's no judgment. I just know what I like. And I know my body prefers spring water first, distilled water second.
I can't drink tap. I can't do it. I also cannot drink purified.
And that's not even coming from like a bougie, entitled perspective. Like, I really do notice a difference in my body, like physically. My thirst feels quenched when I drink spring water or distilled water versus tap water. I tend to still feel very thirsty. It's not the same. It's not as refreshing to me
at all. And then we are weird, y'all. We drink room temperature water.
That's not that weird. I mean, I know some people do prefer, like, having an ice cold bottle of water. Occasionally, I might want some ice water with lime, but like, if I'm at home, just room temperature is fine.
Room temperature me every day, all day. I love room temperature water. It's the best. So what else you sipping on? You sipping on anything else this week?
I was about to ask you the same thing. I'm sipping on, still working through the Louise Hay audiobook, You Can Heal Your Life. I'm still into it, still digging it. As I get through more, I probably have something to share about it. But I do think that there's a lot of thoughtful things in there to consider that I think will be helpful for me. So I'm excited to continue working through that. And the song that I'm sipping on, it actually has me very excited. So I know I love music. I hear in music, I speak through music. So I don't know, I just get excited by certain things. And I was excited by this song that just dropped recently. Theo, his name isn't Crocker, I think it's Croker. And Jill Scott. And the song is called To Be We. And oh my gosh, it's one of those like, let me put this on repeat type songs because I just feel so many things when I hear it. And I think part of the reason why I'm like so into it is because I'm still trying to figure out what it means to me. And I know like eventually I'll get there, but for now I'm just really, really enjoying listening to that song. So that's what I'm sipping on. How about you, my dear?
So yeah. I need to listen to that because I haven't heard that song. So I need you to play that from your girl.
Oh, I got you.
So I could be in bliss with you on that one. As far as books go, and what I'm sipping on, I'm still listening to Tabitha Brown's book. It's an audiobook. And I'm still diving into my numerology. Today I've been seeing 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. Even before we came down here, I saw 444. It spoke to my heart. I know what the number 4 is, the vibrations of it is from what we would consider a positive and a negative space. And then I did like a little brief check-in to check my energy to see where I myself was vibrating from, to see which side of the pole I was vibrating from. And I'm proud to say I was vibrating from the high side.
All right, high side.
I was vibrating from the positive side of the vibration of the number 4, and that felt so good to me. It felt really, really good to me. So yeah, I've been seeing my 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s all day. I saw them yesterday too, but then my angels are speaking to me. The energy is speaking to me, and I am committed to listening.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm doing like a little brief chat. What would you call it? A brief checking of myself as I see those numbers and checking where I am and where I'm vibrating at, and so that's been good. And music, I'm also a music lover. I love music. I really believe that I can sing. I really can. I can't carry a tune though. I really can.
You do your thing every now and then.
I've really been listening to like a lot of 90s music the past couple of days. At work, we've been listening to Tony Braxton Radio and Pandora. So it's been giving a lot of Tony Braxton.
Who do you think I am?
Hey, don't you know that he was my man?
Let me find out. We're finna start singing on this podcast. Y'all ain't
Yeah, so we've been listening to a lot of Tony and a lot of Brandy and Monica and some little mixes of Jasmine Sullivan has been in there. So I've been listening to a mixture of my good old R&B sisters lately. And y'all, one more little tidbit. This is a little sip for y'all. Y'all didn't know that next week on May 13th, my boo, Kendrick, will be dropping his album. So y'all better get ready for the fire. Get ready for the fire. Get ready for the fire. I'm so excited. Like, I just feel the passion all through my body. Been waiting a long time for my baby daddy to drop. He's been in a little bit of a court battle.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. But he's my man free now.
Oh, now he's free. Okay.
He's free, and that album is coming.
All right.
And I'm ready. I'm going to be blasting that bug all through the house. Y'all gonna prepare to be sick of me. Prepare to be sick.
No, I never want to be sick of you, so I'm not preparing for that. Y'all can do that if y'all want to.
But yeah, I'm excited because his album is coming out. So that's what I'll be blasting on next week. And that is definitely something that's going to be in a heavy rotation.
Nice. You ready to move on?
Let's move on, girl.
All right. So today we are talking about the parenthood.
The parenthood.
What it's like to be moms. Last episode, we let y'all know that we are married to each other. This episode, we're going to talk a little bit about what it's like for us to be moms to our daughter.
We have a daughter. A teenage daughter.
A new teenager. Yeah.
Yes. May the shift begin. The parenthood.
The parenthood. So how do you like the parenthood?
Honestly, y'all, I really don't know what my life would be without it. Your girl been trucking through this bad boy for quite some time now. And I really try to imagine what my life would be without it, and I can't see it. But it's definitely been a journey, and it's definitely been a good, rewarding journey.
That's nice. Very nice. All right, so what is motherhood?
When I first think about what is motherhood, I think sacrifice.
Why?
Sacrifice. But I think that from a low vibrational space. But as I evolved through motherhood, I realized that sacrifice actually can mean a few different things. So now I can see sacrifice from an elevated perspective. What is motherhood for you?
I mean, I think motherhood is ultimately about creating and nurturing. I know when a lot of people think about motherhood, they think about the person that biologically got them here, like in this physical realm. But, you know, my understanding of motherhood, it includes a lot of different things. So definitely, you know, the person that carries you and nurtured you in their womb, you know, is a mother. I think anybody that has ever nurtured you or cared for you with love, with patience, with uncertainty, you know, like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I love this person and I want to see them do well.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure this shit out.
That's mom energy. You know, it's, I think a type of motherhood that I feel like is somewhat overlooked is the mothering we do for ourselves. Which is so significant, and I think we need to talk more about that. I'll share more thoughts on that later. But it's really, I think, the people that show up for you in like those loving and nurturing ways. And sometimes it is like a physical, biological, you came out of my body connection. And sometimes, you know, it's a connection that's built from love and trust and relationship.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. That's a very, very high and expanded way of thinking about motherhood. Need to add that into my Rolodex. So, we are going to give you guys the definition of motherhood. Go ahead, babe. Tell them what motherhood means.
Where'd you get this definition from?
The internet.
Oh, okay. Not you don't have your source.
I think it was Webster's.
Okay.
It was right at the top of the Google search.
So according to this, the definition of motherhood is the state of being a mother, maternity. So I mean that's kind of vague, honestly. Like, I think
that's the Webster's dictionary, though.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you where you got it from. So I'm like, yeah.
You know they get very basic. You gotta leave that shit out to get the real definition.
Well, let's talk about that some more, because, you know.
Yeah, but that's like the Webster's dictionary version of what motherhood is.
Would you add anything to that? Or is there anything that you want to share about motherhood for you or from your perspective?
Again, I would say motherhood is sacrifice. I will also add that motherhood is a constant commitment. I will also add that it is unconditional love. Being a mother, you love something beyond you. Like, oh Lord, I can't even explain it. When you think about motherhood, like it's this deep vibrating love for something. I guess that could make it maternal.
So, what are you most proud of in your motherhood journey? Or before we get into that, is there anything you want to say about like how you identify as a mom? Like how are you a mother? And what way are you a mother?
I would say just on a very basic level, I'm a mother because I gave life to a child. But I also believe that I am a mother because I'm committed to investing my all, my guidance, my life experiences into growing and developing a child into a balanced, loving, expanded human being, more expanded than I was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to ditto the second part of what you said. You know, I have not physically given life to a human, but I do breathe life into a human every day. And I do, you know, show up for a littler human than me and, you know, try my best to help raise this person to like really enjoy life, like create a life that, you know, they love.
And she's been doing such a great job. She's a bonus mom.
I am a bonus mom. And, you know, I think bonus is the best word because, you know, you buy something from the store and you be like, oh, like that's a bonus. And, you know, it's like, oh, okay. You know, I was going to get this thing anyway. And now I got something a little extra. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel like a bonus.
And she is definitely a bonus in our life. That little cherry on top, that is she.
All right. So what are you most proud of in your motherhood journey?
I am most proud of the fact that I was able to stick it out. And the reason why I can say that is because from my own personal experience, I am what you would call a communal baby. I was raised by a lot of different mothers, and I have a lot of different mothers who invested in me on top of my biological mom being there. And when my mother had to step out of the picture, that kind of, for a moment, warped, my ideas around what it meant to be a mother. And it kind of made me a little fearful of being a mother, because I believed that I would be the same way and I would do the same thing. And when I conceived my baby girl, I was very afraid that I was not going to be able to commit to being in her life every single day and in every single way to give her exactly what she needed for her to, grow and evolve into the phenomenal person that she has evolved into thus far. So I'm really proud of my commitment to stay and to show up and be involved in shit, I would say overly dedicated to being a good mother and be a proud mother. That's what I'm most proud of on my mothering journey, is that I was able to commit fully to this calling of being a mother, because it's a high calling to be a mother and be there every single day, nurturing that baby who's looking up at you, relying on you. What about you? What is your proudest moment of being on the motherhood journey?
I would say that I feel really proud of my flexibility, and my ability to be open and just learn as I go.
Mm-hmm.
Because, just as much as our little one is changing, I'm changing too.
Mm-hmm.
And I've changed a lot since becoming family with the two of you. So I think that the openness and the flexibility is really helpful, because I'm able to parent and nurture based off where I am, but also based on where she is too. And I think that, the openness and the flexibility are really helping me just get like a better handle on like what it means to be a parent to somebody.
Yeah.
So I feel very proud about my ability to do that. And, kind of similar to you, like my ability to, commit to this so wholeheartedly. I feel very proud of that.
Okay, proud. Hey, I'm proud of you. Because you really have been out here committed to being a mother to our baby and raising her and making sure she's a well-rounded human being.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. That's very sweet. What was the best advice on motherhood you've ever received?
So many things. I would say I kind of can see this from two perspectives, right? So the first perspective would be advice that we receive verbally, right? So the best advice I received from a verbal perspective came from my TT Yarlin. And basically what happened was, this was a time in Sanae's life where...
Who is Sanae?
Sanae is our daughter.
Okay, we didn't say the name up until then. I didn't want people to be confused.
Sanae is our daughter's name. This was a time in Sanae's life where she wanted to just dress real crazy. And she really wasn't dressing crazy. She was just truly expressing herself. But I was a little more narrow-minded back then, and the way that you present and the way that you show up, you know, based on how we grew up, it's like you gonna look like somebody. That's what our mamas used to say to us. So we, what is that? So Sanae, she's always just been very expressive in her outfit choices and her style and her fashion. And one day she wanted to wear these sparkly shoes, and it was just really aggravating me. And I was like, Sanae, please go take these shoes off. And I was in the kitchen, and my TT Yarlin came in the kitchen, and she was like, what's wrong with Sanae? And I was like, she mad because I told her to take her shoes off, but I'm not letting her wear those shoes. And she was like, you know what, baby girl? You do not want to waste your good years arguing with your child about something they want to do that feels good to them. If she want to wear those sparkly shoes and it make her look good and it make her feel good, let her wear the damn shoes. And that has always stuck with me, even up until now. And Sanae has been through many phases of her outfit expressions. And when I found myself about to say something, my auntie voice rang very, very high in my mind with that advice. So yeah, that is the verbal advice that I hold very highly. And then I guess I would say the other advice is through visual, right? Because we mostly learn by watching people do what they do. And watching some of the ways that my parents parented, in the way that my mom was a mother and my grandmother was a mother and my aunts were mothers to their children and to me because I was their child, because they assisted in the evolution of who I've become. I've kind of picked little things to implement into how I mother Sanae, and then I've kind of removed some things. Scratched that. Some of those things as well, but watching people before me operate in the ways that they operated through motherhood has also kind of shaped how I mother Sanae. And that was the advice that I took through action, watching them act in their motherhood. You got some advice about motherhood?
I mean, I don't recall ever receiving any explicit advice. And I think part of that might just be because of how I came into motherhood. I think the majority of the mothers that I know, have like physically carried and birthed and nurtured their kids inside of their children inside of their bodies. I don't personally know too many bonus moms. So I know a lot of times it's easier for people to speak from their own experience and their own perspective. So I don't know. I don't recall ever receiving like any explicit advice about being a mom, especially not a bonus mom, because I do think that is, a unique form of motherhood.
It is.
So a lot of what I have learned is kind of similar to you, the second thing that you said, like just experiencing people around me. A lot of it is intuition. Like, I'm a very intuitive person, so a lot of times I can like feel my way through things. But I guess that's kind of the advice for me. Like, I think that parenting is probably parenting, motherhood, they're probably done best when they are customized. So like, yeah, you know, you can read books and you can talk to people, and there is a lot of wealth and a lot of knowledge and information that can come from that. And I think the way that those things are best applied is when you take into account who you are as the mother figure, but also who the child is. Like, what do they have going on? What are their needs? What are their specific quirks? Like, and you know, just being very accommodating to that. Because you know, it's really easy to look to others for validation, like, oh, well, my child started walking at this age, or well, my kid was in the 3rd grade, they did X, Y, and Z. And you know, sometimes that is helpful, you know, to hear other people's stories and perspectives and their tips.
Yeah, it is.
And I would just say, when you take that in, keep in mind that it worked in that way in particular for that parent and their child, and that you probably will have to make some adjustments.
Yeah, based on
dealing
who
with
you
are
and
your child,
where your kid is. Hell yeah, you really do.
Yeah,
parenting really is customized.
Yeah.
But they say ain't no book on parenting, or ain't no book on motherhood, because it really ain't.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point is, like, you become the book, or like your relationship becomes the book as you go through it. And even for people who have more than one child, you know, what works with one child won't work with the other child.
Yeah.
And I know people say stuff all the time like, oh, how could somebody be raised in the same house and be so different? Because they're different people.
They are different spirits.
They need different things.
Here to do different things.
So yeah, I think, you know, in my own way, that's the best advice I received. Like, let's customize this.
Yeah. As you can see, we have a customized family structure.
So, what did your parents teach you about parenting?
My parents taught me how to be there. How to be there. And this is no shade to my parents, but they wasn't there. They weren't there. And so by them not being there, it showed me how to be there. And that's what I learned. And actually, you know, here in my latter years, my parents are here. They both are here. And they both are, you know, committed, you know, to being a part of my life and being a part of my daughter's life, which I'm so grateful for. It literally, it melts my heart, truly, you know. But in the beginning, you know, because, you know, they weren't around and they wasn't available, it kind of sparked like like a fury in me to be there and be a part and show up and commit and be dedicated. And that is, I would say that's the gift of what my parents really taught me. Like that, in the beginning, it could feel like a deficit or negative, or it can make you angry. But that was a beautiful gift and a beautiful lesson that I learned from my parents. It's on how to be committed and to how to show up and how to be there. Like literally be there and be present. Like be in the now with this little person while you got them. What about you, girl? What about you?
I think my parents just taught me a lot about love. No matter what, the love always was like the most prominent thing. And think it's interesting, like, being asked this question, like, now, and like where I am now and just how I'm understanding life to be, relationships to be, my relationships with my parents. Because I really do understand like how valuable their love is. Because you know, sometimes maybe they didn't say things in a way that I would have wanted them to say things. Right. Or maybe they didn't do things the way that I, at however old I was, what the fuck did I know? You know, trying to criticize these people. Like, girl, sit the fuck down. But you know, like, I gotta honor who I was at that time.
Yeah.
And, you know, even in the midst of like me not liking what they would do sometimes or not liking how things went, you know, the love was always there, and it truly was and is unconditional. And I think that's what I learned, like just how to love somebody. And, you know, through my own kind of life learning and lessons and understandings, you know, I have made some tweaks to that. I actually want to go back to something you said when we opened the episode about sacrifice. You know, my mom sacrificed so much, you know, for me and my brother. And I think the way that I experience motherhood and the way that I experience sacrifice is a lot different. Probably than what you're talking about, and like, you know, the way that I witnessed my mom sacrifice. Because I think what I learned by watching my mom and then like being around other mothers or other parents is that I come last. You know, like my kids come first. I do everything for my children. I do everything for other people around me. And then like if maybe there's enough at the end, then I can get something.
Yeah, like if I still got a little bit of water in my reservoir, I'll take them final last little drops if there's anything.
Yeah, and I understand that instinct, and I understand and appreciate the love in that. Thank you, Mommy. But for me right now, I know that's not how I want to be.
Yeah.
As a mom or as a mother, because I don't want to show Sanae that it's all right for her to come last.
Right.
I don't want to show Sanae that she got to give all of her to someone or to something else, and then maybe if there's time in a few years, it could come back around to her.
And she only getting a little morsels.
I want her to see, you know, me, but more specifically us, you know, be well and like, you know, enjoy the process. Like I don't want her to, you know, just like witness us in that space of like, I want her to experience us having healthy relationships with ourselves, with each other, and with her. And I think, and the reason why I'm like kind of talking through this kind of slowly is because I want to be clear, because I'm not knocking anybody for like putting their child first. That's not what I'm saying. Like, right. Mad respect. And also like, it's an instinct.
And it's a time and a place for that too.
Yeah. You know, like absolute. I'm not saying like, you know, just leave a toddler. I'm not talking about that. But I do think that a lot of moms take that responsibility sometimes to an extreme.
I am that mom.
Okay. Thank you. And it's not a bad thing because, you know, it's a very genuine and sincere instinct. And like, we do want our kids to have the best. We do, you know, want them to know that they are loved and supported and that they can come to us. So, yes, have all of that. But also, I guess basically what I'm saying is take care of yourself. Figure out how to take care of yourself in that too without feeling guilty about it.
And feeling just so depleted at the end. Like, you know, raised this human being up and they done flew the coop and you left with all these health problems and shit. Bad back because you carrying that guilt weight on your back. You know, people got to understand that, you know, a lot of the reasons why we are broken down, you know, as mothers, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, that later leads to physically, is because of the emotional bondage we're in, and it wears on you, and I feel like that's another reason why a lot of people don't know who they are after their children fly the coop.
Yeah,
a lot of moms go through identity crisis, you know, after their children become of age, because they've invested so much of themselves into their children, that sacrifice, and they forgot, you know, to pour it into them in the mix. So we definitely are not downing mothers, you know, for being there, because I'm actually still in the learning phase of that. I would say I'm kind of more like in the middle of the book on that particular thing, but in the beginning I was very much like that. Like, it's all about my baby, it's all about my baby, it's all about my baby. And at the end of the night when I lay down, whoo child, woe out with nothing to give myself. So I definitely hear you, and I love that you are sharing it from that perspective, and you really are opening that up so that way mothers who will watch this episode can see that from an expanded perspective. And some people still might feel some type of way about it.
Yeah.
And it might put a little dagger in your heart. But, you know, this is just what we've been learning and what we've been practicing, and we have been able to see how it has allowed motherhood to be more fruitful for our child and for us.
Yeah, because I know, like, the perspective that I present can be kind of difficult, and I'm okay with that. And, you know, I'm sure some people may be thinking, well, like, you didn't carry that child, like, you didn't give birth to her, you know, you came into her life later on. But some of what you just explained about, like, going all in and putting all of the energy, like, I feel like that was my initial experience, you know, with being a bonus mom. Like, and I think in some ways maybe it was a little bit more extreme than what you were doing, because I think the difference is, you know, you and Shantaé are bonded in a way that compares to nothing. Like,
I have nothing. Nothing.
You know, she grew inside of you. Like, you've literally been with her since before there was a her, you know?
Since conception. And before then, girl, she was a little egg.
That you carried around. Right. So, and then, you know, there's a level of loyalty that's there. There's a level of commitment on both sides. And then, like, you know, me is basically, especially at the beginning, kind of like a show and prove. Like, I have to build trust in a way that maybe you don't. Like, you still have to build trust with her.
Yeah.
But I think the way that I had to build trust with her was a little bit different, because I'm like practically a stranger until I'm not.
Right.
And you know, I take things very seriously. I have historically been a very serious person because I like to do things well, and I do understand the significance of raising children. And my biggest thing is I do not want to mess this up, because I don't. Like, you know, I I just always wanted things to be as smooth and as easy as possible.
Right.
So I did find myself like, you know, doing overtime and putting in a lot and like kind of, I was going to say prioritizing Shantaé over myself. There's not a problem with that, but I do see how in some situations I was a bit extreme.
Yeah.
And to my detriment.
Yeah.
In doing so. And I do feel like, one, you know, when she was younger, she needed a lot more from us.
Yeah.
So there's that, and you can't get around that, and that's fine. But also, I think about this sometimes. You know, during that stage, I was also like very insecure in motherhood, because I'm like, one, it felt kind of weird because I'm like, people looking at me like, well, who the hell are you? Who that is? So, you know, I've had to like work through some like insecurity stuff with that. And then like also, I think I probably projected a lot onto Shantaé, just because I didn't ever want her to feel like I was trying to take anybody's place.
Yes.
Not trying to take your place, your mom. Not trying to take her father's place, that's dad. You know, I just wanted my own place. But, you know, I had to work and I had to fight for that place.
Right.
So I'm just happy that, you know, now she and we've always had a good relationship, but I guess the distinction now is she's a bit older, so we connect differently. But also, like, I feel more comfortable and more confident, like, in my role as bonus mom.
Yes, y'all. And I feel like they love bond deeper than me is, and they I be like, what y'all got going on over there?
It's just different.
All right, y'all trying to exclude me.
Could never, would never.
But they do. They have cultivated such a beautiful bond together, and I really, sometimes, I'm like, wow, y'all really trying to push me on out. But I love it. I love it for her. I love it for you. I love it for me. I love it for our family dynamic. And it's been a beautiful roller coaster ride.
It's been fun. Like, at some points, I'm just like, now this was a long time ago when I was still my little insecure bit. Like, girl, what the hell is happening? Because, bitch, I'm over here trying to raise myself. I don't know how I'm really doing with that.
I'm over here mothering me.
Okay.
And then I'm figuring it out.
Right. And that's a whole thing.
And I gotta figure out another little human being who ain't even clear about who they are because their brain literally doesn't have the critical capacity.
And they're looking at me like, and I'm like, I'm gonna try my best. Like, I'm not gonna let you down, but I don't know what I'm doing for real. So I just gotta learn to trust myself. Like, as I said before, like, I'm an intuitive person. So, like, learning to, like, trust my instincts and know that, girl, there is really no harm. No harm.
And we all learning together.
All learning together.
That's our next question.
What kind of mom are you? What kind of mom are you?
I am two kinds of mom. I am a overly loving mom, just drown you in my love, literally drown you. And I have to learn how to pull the tide back on that. And I am also the authoritative mom. I am the mom of structure. Because children need structure.
Children do.
They need structure. They need boundaries. They need to know how far they can go. And when they go too far, my desire is to pull them back in lovingly. Thanks to Shantaé, I have learned to put that into practice more. But in the beginning, I would, yank Shantaé back in a kind of harsh way. But I am a overly loving mom. And that is just based off of my own mothering to myself. that makes me an overly loving mom to our baby girl. But then I'm also the authoritarian mom as well, as like we're gonna have some structure, we're gonna have some boundaries, we're gonna understand how to operate. Systems are in place because systems and organization allows things to flow a little bit more smoothly in my book. I'm a Sag. What kind of mommy are you?
I'm the gentle mom.
This is true. This is very, very true.
I'm the let me hear where you are, Mom. What's your perspective? Because I need to understand where you're at right now as to why you're doing what you're doing.
Mm.
And I need to know if you feel supported and if you have what you need. So I'm definitely the listener. I'm the observer.
Mm.
I mean, you are too,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm definitely an observer. Like, I notice things, I pay attention to things. I am not as much of the authoritative parent, but I definitely do believe in structures, boundaries, communication, accountability,
responsibility. You're going to be responsible for your actions.
Yeah, but also love. You know, that's the name of my game.
Yeah, it is true, and it's been a perfect balance to motherhood for us as we mother this, young lady, because she's a young lady now, and us being able to communicate and talk about our strengths and our weaknesses when we come to the table to discuss with Sanae and advise Sanae, based on where she is on any given day. We bring balance to the foundation. The foundation ain't tilted because she is taking what I have to say at a higher rank because I'm, mommy, and she's not taking the foundation is not tilting in more of the favor of Shantaé because Shantaé is the easier mom and she kind of lets Sanae off the hook a little bit, and Sanae like nice people and she will always venture over to niceness. Like she do not like when people, or as she would perceive people to be not pleasant. She be like, I don't like her because she ain't nice. And I'm like, well, what makes her not nice? And she be like, because she be yelling. And I'm like, but is it constructive? And she be like, I mean, yeah, but like, I just don't like her. Like, I like people that speak to me, a certain type of way. So they like to be able to get away with shit too. So she will go to Shantaé for certain things that she won't come to me for.
Yeah, and a few times she has been pleasantly surprised because thinking like, "Oh, you what? No." And I think that hurt her more than if you were to say it because she looking like
Shantaé said no.
You said that to me.
Saying no, which I've been proud of to see they kind of spin the block a little bit and
because everything in reason, like I'm a nice person just because like I'm a genuinely nice person. Like that's how I like to operate. That's who I am. Mm-hmm. But I ain't no goddamn fool. Let's be clear about it. Yeah. And you ain't finna play with yourself like that, nigga. You can play with me like that.
I know. So we always reflect things back to Sanae to make her see where she's not being truthful or where she's even trying to deceive her own self. And then she's gonna try to bring that deception over here. One thing you won't do is to be a deceiver.
No.
What is that song? You nothing but a liar, a cheat,
okay.
A deceiver, heartbreaker. We won't let her be that.
No.
In no capacity.
No.
So I think that's where the accountability and the responsibility that you make her, you embody for yourself, but then you also make her embody for herself. And then I do too, through my authoritative ways, because if you do something well, there's a consequence. There's a consequence for what you've done well. But if you do something that's not well, there's a consequence for that.
And ultimately, I mean, no matter like what the immediate kind of response is to that, I think ultimately I just, want her to go out into this world, like understanding that her words, her thoughts, her actions have power. And like that is the foundation from which you build and create and live your life.
Yeah.
And I do think that a lack of accountability, a lack of self accountability is what has a lot of people out in this world spinning in circles.
I have fucked up in the game.
I was gonna say
that. See, we on the same way.
I was gonna say that. Probably almost exactly like that. Got them out here fucked up
in the game.
But since we was talking about motherhood and talking about Shantaé, I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna be kids listening to this episode. So I tried to but you know what? It is what it is.
We didn't say we were perfect.
What does that even mean? We'll talk about that on another.
We'll talk about it on another episode.
So here we come with the next question. What's been the biggest surprise about motherhood?
Oh, wow. So many things. I think the biggest surprise for me when it comes to motherhood is the different expressions of who your child is through the different ages of who they are. Because who Shantaé was when she was an infant was definitely not who she was when she was 8. And it's definitely not who she is as a new teen. And so just kind of watching her go through this metamorphosis and change has been a surprise, because I always thought my baby was going to be frozen. Let it go. Let it go. Wanting to wear little sparkly shoes, wear dresses everywhere, always want to be under me. That's who I, believe my baby to be. And my baby is a little independent little firecracker that has this just amazing creative mind and is so articulate and just such a well-rounded, and she's such a worldly person. And that shit has surprised me. It has surprised me as a mother to watch her kind of metamorphosize into all of these evolved expressions of herself. Because, child, I just knew my baby was going to be wearing dresses with colorful tights and sparkly shoes with a brave wig on. Oh, that wig that she used to wear used to shred me up. Oh, but thank God for you, Auntie and TT.
Because let the baby live. Like,
really.
Come on now. Come on.
And Daddy, my daddy. Because he put them children, he used to put them children dress crazy. And then he sent me a picture. I'm like, what they wearing?
They gotta learn how to express themselves.
Oh, he used to eat me up, y'all. He used to be ate up. What has been your surprise?
Well, mine is. You laughing, but I was actually going to say I think mine is a bit deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
So, short story.
Okay.
For a very long time, probably since I was maybe a child or a teenager, I've always felt like I would be a mom to a girl baby, girl child. And, I had ideas about what that would look like or how that would come to be. And then, you and Sine came into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And like a part of me was like, oh, okay, well, maybe Sine is that girl that, I always felt like I would raise or be a mom to. And she is.
Mm-hmm.
But also, the girl that I really needed to mother and nurture and love was always me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I guess it was kind of surprising, like at the time, because I just always had, different ideas about what that would look like. But as I really practice mothering myself mindfully and intentionally and in a customized way,
right,
based on what I need and where I'm at, it's just continuously more and more clear to me that I have always been that girl. So it just comes back to something that I mentioned earlier, that motherhood is not necessarily about what who you have created in your body.
Right.
It really is about the nurturing piece. It really is about, I think, creativity. Because, operating from like the spirit or the energy of motherhood, we do create. We create businesses. We execute on ideas.
Because the household is a business, okay?
We build things. We explore things. And I know that there are a lot of people who are so well loved by, themselves, but also like other people, like, who are not their biological mom. A lot of people are blessed to have a lot of those people in their lives. Shout out to my nanny. Hey, nanny. Like godmothers and aunties and sisters and cousins and neighbors and teachers. So many people can be a part of that role, with the ultimate goal of like nurturing and loving and supporting.
But you being introduced to motherhood by nurturing and raising Sine has been what you would call that reflector. And she has reflected to you how to mother and raise and mature yourself.
Yeah.
She's been there for me too. Truly. Because wow, that baby girl inside of me. The different ones, because it's different ones.
Yeah.
Child, they be like, girl, please pour into me. Because I'm over here lacking. I'm over here without. So I definitely understand what you mean by that. And I think when we get like what we said in our last two questions ago, what we give and what we pour into ourselves opens up the space, or I would say not even space, opens up the floodgates for us to be able to provide that same level of nurturing or more, to our babies. So yes, I definitely understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to all of the moms, all of the mothers. No matter how you came to be a mother, no matter who you mother, thank you. I know it's not the easiest thing sometimes, but thank you for sticking with it and doing your best and showing up when you're tired and hungry and stressed out. You know, I just want to say thank you on behalf of whoever you may have sacrificed for. And I do encourage you to figure out ways, if you don't have them already, to be your happiest, healthiest self, and to not feel guilty about doing that, because the people that you mother will benefit from you being at your best.
Very true. Very, very true. So we got any more questions? So we ran through the questions.
That's all of the questions. Would you like to add anything to this conversation right now?
The thing that I would add, you know, for me is I'm just ready to see what parenthood, because it is the hood. Sometimes it be the hood sometimes. Woo, child. I'm ready to see what this teenage experience of parenthood is going to offer up to me, and how I guide and lead my baby girl through young womanhood into adulthood. I'm also excited to see what that will offer me to myself as I parent my expression of my teenage self that still lives with me, that didn't get every single little thing that she needed, or I was real entitled. I was internally entitled. Outside, I wasn't entitled, but inside I was. That she felt like she deserved. To see what, through my parenting of our baby girl, you know, what that is going to offer up to me and my teenage self, and then how that's going to spill out and water our family dynamic as we nurture this little girl, because she's going to always be my little girl. You'll always be my baby. To see what that's going to offer all of us too. So I'm excited to see what the parenthood is going to offer us in this teenage realm. Because it's sectors. We done made it through the infantry and adolescent. Or is this the adolescent?
I think it's still adolescent. At least for right now.
Oh, okay.
No, she a new teen. She new to it, not true to it yet. Okay.
She new to this. She ain't true to this. We true to this.
Girl, true.
Try to be true. Okay.
True.
So that's what it is for me. That's my little ad, my little tidbit.
Well, thank you.
Excited.
Thank you for showing up today for the parenthood.
The parenthood.
We'll probably be back with some parenthood updates at some point.
Yeah, some more
or some different perspectives
regarding the parenthood, different sectors of the parenthood.
Yeah. So, what I would like for y'all to do is, share with us what are your thoughts about parenthood, motherhood. What is your definition of a mother?
Mm-hmm.
Who are, the mother figures in your life, and what's some of the advice that you learned about parenthood or motherhood? Connect with us. Leave some comments.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, share this episode with your tribe, your friend groups, your circles, so y'all can have conversations.
Because it takes a village. Y'all heard me say I'm a communal baby.
Yeah,
I'm a communal baby. So that tribe, my community raised me. My maternal family, they raised your girl up. And I love every single last one of them very much for what they invested into me. So gather with your girls. Gather with your mom friends. So y'all can do that together. And we'd love to talk to y'all about it as well. Because it's important and it matters. Because motherhood can feel very lonely.
Yeah, I think, and I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I know we wrapping up. But I think part of that is because, like, in some ways, we have gotten away from like the idea of like the community is raising this baby, the tribe is raising this baby, and I think a lot of times parents, mothers in particular, put a lot of pressure on themselves to be perfect or to seem perfect or to like not be unfit or just having shame about like not knowing things. So a lot of people do kind of isolate sometimes or like just take on too much because there's literally no way we can know it all. A lot of things we are presented with as parents, as mothers, like happens in the moment. It's not, you know, necessarily a linear path.
It's very squiggly. Very going back to the beginning, then you go on to the end, and you whip it on back around and stuff. So yeah. But you know, like my sweet baby said, connect with us, share the episode, leave y'all comments, tell us who y'all mamas are.
You could shout out yourself as a mom. Like, what's something that you're really proud of on your motherhood journey? I would love to hear that.
Because, girl, you doing a good job. Girl, you doing a good job. Girl, you doing a good job. Girl, you doing a good job.
For real.
You're doing a great job. We're doing a great job.
I'm doing a damn good job.
Come on, babe.
And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to say that. That was actually one of my brags the other day. It's like, what's something you could brag about this week? I'm like, I'm a really good parent. Because I am. You're a good...
It's eye-watering.
It might be. You know what I'm saying? And you're a good parent, a great mom.
Yeah.
I know. And y'all are great parents and great moms. So let's connect off some great mom shit.
Okay. We can start a little mommy group. Okay. The more the merrier. Shit.
I mean, and you know, I'm definitely open to learning more and like, you know, just understanding things from different perspectives. So I'm really excited to see, you know, what we can learn from our tribe.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Hi, T Honey, signing off. Until next time, be well,
be true,
be you.